this thing started. Illinois about to kick it away to get things started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Cougars offense will go on the attack first. And here it comes for the first time as a starter, this talented freshman. And Jesse, it seems like quarterbacks mature quicker and quicker these days, and they're ready to grab the reins.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more. There's more high school quarterbacks now ready to take the next step and compete and perform in college football. But listen, I started as a true freshman back at Florida. I guarantee you he has so much nervous energy going right now because he has never played in an environment like this, and he has never played against competition like this either.
No, it's crazy. And that was 1920. So imagine now, call it technology, how much he's feeling the nerves. Obviously, all the eyeballs in the stadium is on him. Now, everybody knows what he's capable of, but he's going to be the first guy to touch the football. It's going to revolve around him, and that's a lot to ask of a freshman.
He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive. Let's talk just for a second about BYU. You start the season top 25, clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early here.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously, some talented pieces, well thought of in the top 25, but a lot of season to go out and prove.
Turning it on! Got the first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. And the Cougars want to crank the tempo.
Man, I love when offenses are not afraid to run the football consecutive times in a row, or multiple times. Everybody wants to air it out, but man, getting that ground game established, making those linebackers and safeties come up and know that we're going to run the football, I like the way they started this football game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. The screen, he's got wheels. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion. They lost yardage. They got to come up with a big play on this third and long. They want to throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Cruz. At the 45, he's looking for the 22. Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Throws to the wideout. Return never really got started, but boy, he has set his team up at the 28.
It's just part of playing the position, and that's an interception this young man's going to learn from. That's the first interception he's thrown in his college football career, and guess what? Probably not going to be his last. You got to turn the page and learn from it.
Three tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. Handle to the roll back. They knock him down after he picks up 5 out to the 34. They can get pretty wild in the Big 12. Some of these outposts are like snake pits when you have to go on the road. You got to get off to a quick starting conference.
Man, it's always wacky, Reese. Like, there's always something that happens in the Big 12, and somebody comes out of nowhere in the Big 12 every single year. So, starting in conference play, Palmer, these games start to really matter, really add up, and the pressure amplifies.
It's so true, too. When you think about the Big 12 Conference, it just seems like teams get caught sleepwalking. So you've got to start fast. And the challenge, I think, for these coaching staffs, these two teams, every week they've got to have their team ready to go, and it starts today.
Offense breaks the huddle on 3rd down. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Makes the grab on the left. Works his way to the 41, and that is ready to give him the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the tailback. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Makes the catch. It's Stewart. At the 40, there we go. Rolls inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and now they're threatening.
After that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Got him up for the first. Stuck in the end zone. Touchdown. They draw the first one, and that's exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. I'm not sure anyone even breathed on that running back by the time he got into the end zone.
Nah, so many blockers out in front. Where are the defenders? I mean, it's a good idea. You know, the guy with the ball, that's usually the guy we want to go tackle. Go get him.
From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Coaches talk about running with violence, running with bad intentions. That's what that looks like as he gets it up to the 32. All right, guys, let's chat about BYU. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
First game of the year, you're always worried about turnovers, right? And this guy has the ultimate nightmare on his first touch of the year. Puts the ball on the ground.
There we go.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned, and you can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down when they're going to run the football. So then getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Humphrey. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down.
Play like you mean it.
Looking to fire. Grab over the middle, it's Stewart. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
These third downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to be in rhythm, and needs to execute on this third down.
On third and short, they'll go to the power running game. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a first and goal from the 10. Illinois putting together a really nice drive.
Not sexy at all, right? Just hand the ball to the running back. Could I pull it? Yeah, but I want to get that first down. Nice job understanding the situation of the game, going and getting the first down, getting a fresh set of downs.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to get it in. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
Looking to the end zone on third and goal. And he's going to take it in the end zone. Touchdown!
I know we're only in game one, but in this half, you've got to be excited about what you've seen from this offense. Really nice rhythm. Quarterback's got great command on the field with respect to what they're trying to do. And they've got some weapons. I can't wait to see what this offense does this year.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. between them and the sticks here on second down. The play action fake. Bringing the heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football. Now they face third down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. Lofts one high and deep. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down. BYU will bring the punt team on the field. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Here's the return. He gets a block. Stealing a score on special team. He did that one all by himself. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they built this sizable lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. They really needed to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. Gives it on the option. Fighting off the defender. He's going to lose a yard on that one. BYU lines up quickly. Let's talk just for a second about BYU. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there. Now it's fourth down. Looks as if BYU will have to punt it away. Remember, they took the last punt back for a touchdown. Let's see what he can do with it. Slips through the line. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out everybody right now on the same page.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. No, moving it quickly down the field. They'll dial up the run on first and goal. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
You know, you're in the red zone. You bring out a bunch of tight ends on the field. So the defense, they were expecting a run on that one. They were physical, and they were able to force the negative play.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Balls it in. That throwing catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
Nice job by the defense, forcing the third and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
They'll try to pass it in on third and goal. Into the house. pressure coming. Firing to the right, complete. He's going to be stopped short of the goal line. The two-point attempt is no good as they are unable to extend the lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. BYU has it back. The Cougars ready to get into that playbook. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Hard running there. Gets it past the marker. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. He's now up to 52 yards on the ground. A very productive first half here in the season opener. Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. Off the play fake on first down. On target. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Got some of the work done on first. Now let's see what they have on second down. They go to the ground. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
And man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. He's going to look for a man on third and short. That's it. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. BYU will bring the punt team on the field. They'll look to pin him deep. That thing goes straight up like a rocket. Tell the blimp guys to look out. He'll wave for the fair catch and haul it in at the 25. The Illinois offense returns to the field. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Wants to go up top on first down. Makes the grab. It's Stewart. Good call. Good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
Zone coverage means everybody's looking at the quarterback. So now, when I'm a wide receiver, I got to make sure I know I fit in the hole between these zones. I know where they're dropping to, and I know where I need to get to. Great job by the wide receiver finding that hole, and the quarterback throwing shot.
They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chain. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another first down. They'll go back to the ground. Got enough for the first down and once more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
How about that for efficiency if you're on this offense right now? 3 plays, 3 first downs. They get that one running with great vision and open field running ability. Everything they're doing right now is working. This play caller is in a rhythm. Well, right away after picking up a first down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the ball.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on first down. You're starting like that now. What opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
So now it's second and long. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. The short hands, it's Stewart. They've done a really good job creating the matchups they want out of the slot.
Yeah, dude, get that guy matched up on a linebacker. That guy matched up on a safety. Keep him away from the corners by putting him in the slot. Get him the football, let him make plays.
Got it in the middle, it's DeLuca. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Illinois coming out with a first and 10. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Wide open downfield. And they'll run into the end zone. Touchdown, Illini!
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and
a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of there, you-know-what.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Guys, you've been taking in a magnificent scene there today in Champaign. And the standout player on the defensive side of the ball has been that boogeyman back there at safety. They try to run it, he's filling the holes. They try to throw it, he's either picking them off or trying to take dudes' heads off. Good luck making adjustments.
Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. Let's see if they can keep that first half momentum rolling. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Snagged in the middle, it's Stewart. Breaks into the open. Knocked down at the 44, but he got 15 on that one. From the 44-yard line, the offense snaps it on first down. This time they'll go to the running game. Picks up the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Run the football and get ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
And I tell you what, I know it's fatal when these QBs miss and the ball's not right to them, but man, it makes such a difference with yards after the catch, and in this case, even catching the football. It was just a little bit off, and it just made it a little... Those wide receivers trying to make a catch.
One of the things I love about this wide receiver, it's not all bombs and posts and go routes. 3rd and long, you just kind of run him not too far down the field. He makes the catch, and he's so dangerous. Making moves, using his speed and elusiveness. He finds a way to get that first down to keep the offense on the field.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You can tell he's catching the football.
And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Carl over the middle. It's Pierre. Oh, he didn't get there, and what a stop against an offense that's been magnificent on 3rd down.
That's a really big completion for the offense. And look, I know they didn't get the first down, but because of it, they're now set up in 4th and very short. And if you're the head coach,
He gets it, fourth down, and he's still going.
wow, and that was just a bang-bang play on that point. And the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra pressure on it and shows you the arm talent on the throw.
He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. Tries again to end in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Illinois.
Everybody's getting in on the fun now for this offense. From the opening whistle, they've been up and down the field. Starters are scoring. We've got backups in the game now. And I love the play calling. He's got to
touchback, the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. BYU has it back. The Cougars ready to get into that playbook.
You're not going to get all of your big chunk plays in the passing game by throwing it deep down the field. You can kind of dink and dunk, and on that RPO play, they had it dialed up and set up to go to that player in the right front. Nice job.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Cougars come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. And he's incomplete on 3rd down.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
Gonna run it. It's coming. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Grabbed in the middle. It's Stewart. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37.
This defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays. You better change your looks up and try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll leave it with him. Stop just inside the 25. We'll mark it at the 24. Pick up of 10 and a first down. Illinois putting together a really nice drive. They'll give it to the back. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
And running really has been the key on this drive, guys. Lots of success right there. They generate another explosive play. Their success running the ball, big reason why they've been able to put up a lot of points and have a really nice lead in this one. And now back in the red zone again, they're looking to add them.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you can tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out and came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play, and I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Looking to the end zone. Intercepted. Big play. Stops the drive. And he's brought down with this interception. A huge play to end this quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Illinois has the lead here. And this beatdown is close to completion as we've reached the end of 3. Let's take a look at how we got here. To the air on first down. Gets it out quickly. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Wants to throw on first down. Going over the top. Snags it on the right. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, BYU!
Hey, good for them. They've put together a drive. They got a touchdown. It's been a bad day. I mean, this is a day they're going to want to forget. They're getting destroyed, but at least you get some positive vibes. Maybe finish this game on a little bit of a high note. A little bit.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. on the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Illinois offense returns to the field. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, and it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
They'll knock him down after a pickup of 1 to the 18.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Now the defense will try to keep them on this end on 3rd and short from the 21. He's looking to throw. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. This is a spot you see many returners try to take a chance, but not this time. The fair catch just inside the 40. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. Tight end now in motion. Quarterback on the keeper. And he has a solid game before the defense bottles him up. All right, guys, let's chat about BYU. Unless there is a dramatic turn of events, this is not going to be a way to cool off that hot seat.
And they're going to have to be able to handle adversity and handle the outside noise moving forward, because losing this game in week 1, all the detractors, all the naysayers, that noise is going to get louder. That hot seat is getting even hotter. And I think all eyes are going to be on this program now, David, seeing how they turn the page and move on from noise.
And I give you Exhibit A. Jesse Palmer just turned up the hot seat. All eyes are on them. They got to win. They got to do this. Starting off on the wrong foot. This is exactly what happens. It becomes a distraction. We're going to find out how good the coach is, and we're going to find out how loyal these fans are really quickly in this season. This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Makes the grab. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw 1st downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Guys, man. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up. Charcoal. With the run on 1st and goal. And the defense stuffs the run, and the ball will remain at the 2.
Well, and you see the sense of urgency now going up, right, David, on defense here, creating a negative play with their backs up against the wall.
Everybody's selling out to stop the run. Nice job being aggressive by this defense.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And now, after getting knocked back, they'll try it again, this time from the 5 on 3rd and goal. Safe completion on the screen. And he crosses the goal line and gets the touchdown, but way too little, way too late. But they still do count it for 6.
And with that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it to punt it away from deep in their own territory. Good, solid pickup on that one. They got it out to the 40, and it's first down. After that big gainer to open things up, they'll put it in play from the 40. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. Looking to throw on first down. Working out left side now. At the 35. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
I'll tell you, you got to be careful if you're the defense right now because you're behind. I know you want to be aggressive. You might want to start blitzing, getting a lot of guys close to the line of scrimmage, but this offense is going to take opportunities when they have one-on-ones, and they just did right there.
And he's brought down after a nice gain. And with that one, he's now over 3 bills for the game.
And there's 2 reasons why, Reese. He's made good decisions, and he's been accurate throwing the football all game long.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just end their total.
And the offense putting up more points, and guess who's jacked up? This home crowd start the season off with offensive fireworks and looking to go 1-0. They are loving their squad.
Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. BYU has it back. The Cougars ready to get into that playbook. This has been an old-fashioned fanny paddling, David. I mean, they've just got taken behind the woodshed.
There's nothing to say. This has been an absolute...
Looking deep. It's picked off, and they ruined the drive with a turnover. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set him up with a big play. The give to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Fires to the right out. Got his man downfield. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Man, you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day.
Inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a 2-point conversion. The interception was just gravy.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of executing goes they got for executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
A hostile environment can have a major impact on even the most composed, well-prepared team. So how much did the crowd play a factor in this upset?
Well, this is what makes college football so great, the home crowd and how they were able to impact this game. No doubt about it, David. They played a big factor.
And they're still jacked up, and they're still excited. They play a big factor, and it affects everything. College football, road atmospheres, they're tough. Even when the team isn't ranked like they weren't today, these are the types of moments that can jump up and bite you.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.